Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper Crypto live stream, and we have got a lot of information to get through in today's stream. I'm sure many of you may be with me where you're just tuning in to the blockchain and banter Twitter space. I was obviously listening to it, but as it has now reached that hour afterwards, I didn't want to delay the stream any longer for today. They did make some very, very big announcements regarding IGRA, some updates regarding what they have going on, Zealous as well. So definitely tune in or watch it on playback when it is finished. But yeah, a lot of big things are coming. A lot of big things are coming for Casper, and it's interesting stuff. All in all, we're seeing this space continuously accelerate. And again, those who are part of my VIP, and if you've been tuning into the streams daily, you would have heard me even leak some VIP stuff regarding the fact that institutional confirmation confirms that the big bang, so to speak, the big shift is going to be taking place in a couple of months from now. And it seems to be that case. With PayPal now jumping in, offering crypto payments, it seems that it is ramping up very, very quickly. We have got apparent news that Trump is going to be issuing a stimulus package to retail, which, truth be told, if that is true, would be very welcome, considering that retail for the most part are very, very burnt out by now. You know, constantly just not many people now have capital on the sideline anymore because of this very, very strenuous market. We can see right now Casper's currently valued at 9.79 cents, down roughly 6.76% on the daily time frame. It is still holding this current zone. It seems to be the support for Casper is around this 9.5 area-ish, around here more so, to a top of being around 10.6 right now. This seems to be the zone that we're trading between. So provided we hold that, worst case of course coming down to 9.5, all is well and good. But again, we have to see where the markets go. This week is going to be a very, very big week for crypto, for Casper as well. We have got, of course, if you remember, on Wednesday being the FOMC meeting, on Thursday being the PCE inflation data, amongst other things as well, and then also on the Friday being the tariffs being reinstated, which we'll hopefully hear some more announcements about that. We did see some announcements regarding tariffs and Europe, and apparently a trade deal being formed between them, which is good news. Of course, Japan have their trade deal, which is not a great trade deal for Japan, but either way, good news, a trade deal has been formed nonetheless. We saw China's trade deal got delayed by 90 days again, which did cause a little bit of a relief rally yesterday, with Bitcoin going back up to 120k at one point almost. But now we're down currently. It sucks. It happens. Of course, people are frustrated. They are burnt out. They are tired. But we are trading between this level right now of Bitcoin. We're trading up and down between this level right now, between 120k more so and 117, 116k. And actually, those who are part of the VIP would have heard C Crypto talk about it in our executive roundtable on the Sunday, talking about if you were to trade Bitcoin right now, there's quite a comfortable and easy setup seemingly being formed between these zones right now of 120 to 117k. So you could, should you do your own research and trade at your discretion, decide to take those 2 to 3% gains. Of course, you put leverage on it as well, you can end up making a little bit more. Higher risk, higher reward, be very careful. But either way, you can learn a lot more for the VIP about what's currently going on in the market and the trajectory. Predict this market going very, very soon. Of course, Wednesday, I think, is going to be one of the biggest catalyst days, not just with Jerome Powell, you know, having the speech about what's happening as well. We also have the fact that, you know, for the most part, banks, what Jerome Powell says, I believe, for this FOMC meeting, is going to set the narrative for the next 2 months for crypto as well. If he is dovish, if he is bullish, you'll see likely the markets make a nice rally throughout August if tariff FUD is not too high, and then going into September where, you know, FOMO's going all-time highs. If he's a bit more hawkish and still staying wants to hold strong, then we'll probably see a lackluster and choppy August, leading in hopefully into a more reassuring September with hopeful positive PCE data as well, inflation data. We'll get into all that sort of stuff and break it down bit by bit throughout the stream. But as always, if you enjoy the daily live stream, the frequent content, then leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. DD bro, welcome back to the streamer man, and you too, Greg. What's up, brother? Mr. Miles, first every time. Welcome back, bro. Kryptoni, hello to you too, brother. I watched Casper Silver's versus Bitcoin Maxi debate. They are not ready for what is coming. Casper Silver was clear and precise. We may be happy to have an ambassador like him. And I agree, you know. He is not the technical expertise of Shai or Michael Sutton or Son Polinsky, but again, he is someone who has evidently done a lot of in-depth research into Casper, trying his best to understand the technology behind it, and he does a very good job as a spokesperson. In fact, even Shai mentioned that, while Casper Silva is not one of the tech people, so his experience and explanations will be always relatively lackluster to these people, Michael Sutton, Son Polinsky, and those lot. Even Shai said Casper Silva did a very, very good job in disputing the points from Rajet and having a good debate, kind of explaining the ethos of Casper and why they align with Bitcoin, and where also Rajet was misinterpreting what Casper's really about. But I think, nobody is ready, and actually we've got a post about that here from Bitcoiners saying everyone praising Casper for being faster than Bitcoin is missing the point. Sure, it's fast today, but what happens when a faster coin launches next year? Now, for me, already that point, ridiculous. Because the point is, okay, well, if a faster coin comes out later next year, and it's exactly the same as Casper in that regard, then it means you've got two projects that are better than Bitcoin, or quote-unquote better than Bitcoin, because it's faster and still, adhere to the ethos of Son Polinsky, of Satoshi Nakamoto, of Bitcoin's white paper. Casper will get dethroned like all other alts playing the game. Speed is temporary, trust is forever. That is to be to your Bitcoin, it can never be replaced. Casper can be replaced next year by a new faster coin. But again, they're missing the point. Casper is not your proof of stake. It is not your pre-allocated asset. It's fair launch proof of work. The Casper growth right now you see on CMC, this is all organic community growth. That is not VCs pumping it. That's not insiders pumping it. It is pure community incentive, community organic growth that's pumped Casper to where it's at right now. Faster coins can come out. Sure, they can try. But will they be as decentralized as Casper? Or will they be as fast as Casper while still being decentralized and secure? No. I don't think you get, as Christian Hansen says here, what a breakthrough Casper is. It's the only Nakamoto consensus style proof of work that can actually scale. Nobody thought it was possible because that's why they went to proof of stakes, because they didn't think you could scale and be decentralized. But it is with Casper. Anything faster is probably just a proof of stake, which is a no-brainer. Once Dagnite, again, coming out next year, or at least believed to come out next year. We haven't got a confirmed date just yet, but either way, likely coming out next year. Once the Dagnite protocol is implemented on Casper, there will be nothing that can compete with it speed-wise, as Dagnite allows Casper to scale with latency, making it also internet chaos resilient. If you love Bitcoin, you should study Casper. Simple put as that. And you got this, even there's a little clip here, which back and forth between Rajet and Casper Silva here, which I'm sure everyone here has seen the video. I won't necessarily have to play it on stream here, but I mean, Hoover makes a very nice summary of it here right now. Again, it is proof right here that Rajet here did get debunked by Casper Silva on how Casper can be the perfect form of money thanks to how easily it moves around. Rajet is here trying to claim that he does not see Casper as a medium of exchange, and Casper Silva asks him, well, what is a cryptocurrency? I think that's what he said, right? Let me just quickly double check. Actually, no, I'll just play the video out right now and then we'll talk about it in as a recap as well. So listen very closely.
I don't know what else to tell you. It's okay. The way that I see it, I don't know. It can be used as something else, but it's not money. To me, it's not money. Like I've made so many points here that
money.
It's something that you use as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Sorry, I gotta go at 2. I gotta go in like 3 minutes. I'm sorry. I have another meeting. I don't know. I don't think I've been. I don't.
So yeah, I mean, again, a little spliced up there, but again, his definition, which is the definition of money, is something that could be used as a medium of exchange, unit of account, and a store of value. So the dollar, which is currently money, right? That is used as a medium of exchange, trading worldwide, store of value. People hold. You've got treasuries holding dollars, and then you've got unit of account. Everything is denominated in dollar, pretty much. Now, Bitcoin can be a medium of exchange. No, it can be a store of value and a unit of account. It cannot be a medium of exchange. It's not quick enough to be a medium of exchange. So Bitcoin, therefore, has fundamentally failed at being a form of money. That is completely counterintuitive to its argument there. But Casper can be a medium of exchange because it is quick enough, it's scalable enough to do so. Now, he is only claiming that it can only be used for messaging, which I believe it will be used for messaging, alongside everything else as well. It will have superior smart contracts. It'll be able to have stablecoins, be able to run seamlessly and smoothly on Casper as well. Tokens, NFTs, all that stuff are going to find their best home on Casper, and they continue to grow more and more and more. And better still, you have people like Paul Barron, who he's a massive content creator on Twitter. He's got 174,000 followers. He's predominantly, covering the XRPs, XLMs, the ISO assets, but even he's made a post here just yesterday saying that Casper deserves its roses. It deserves its praises. Casper's shown a 43% gain in July. It's got an innovative edge. Casper's processed 10 BPS with goals to scale to 100 BPS, combining Bitcoin level security with internet speed performance. It's got a growing community, an army that has grown exponentially across all social channels with 75 plus ambassadors on board. Of course, he's not one of them. And it's got unique tokenomics. Casper's features are chromatic monetary policy with block rewards halving smoothly every year, creating natural scarcity. It is a depreciating asset, deflationary. It will continue to rally up in value as time goes on when the demand comes through and you have smart contracts coming out, therefore generating more use case and interest in Casper. Of course, the price is not going up for the last year or two, so that kind of defeats the point. I'd agree with those who are saying that, but it will do a lot better in the coming future. His price targets here, he is saying it should revisit all-time highs by the end of 2025, and I think that's the bare minimum. I do. I think Casper can quite comfortably surpass all-time highs, but the point being is you're seeing it now, coincidentally, as smart contracts on the horizon, as you're seeing more big projects in the KI endorsing Casper more so now, talking about the big projects. You're seeing now bigger content creators starting to talk a little bit about Casper. People who didn't talk about it before in the past. That is big. You're seeing Bitcoin maxis getting more involved as well. So what you're seeing, little bit by little bit now, which is what we saw back in 2024, before the price came down, people kind of ignored it then. But you're now seeing when the price is only at 9.5 cents, 10 cents, the big accounts start to talk about Casper again a little bit by bit. Starting to realize that Casper is a very innovative project. And even then, this is very much just an engagement post, because this is a very, very, vague summary of what Casper actually is. Of course, there's only so much you can actually talk about Casper in one post. As you've been in the space for a very, very long time as well. But there's so much more to Casper than just this. And it's not even talking about the future. The DAG Knight, the native smart contracts, the MEV resistances, the Oracle system, all that stuff that's coming to Casper in the near future. It's going to be a big week ahead. Even for CSwap as well, apparently. They've got new waveforms, so something big is going to be coming out for CSwap very, very soon, which is extremely exciting stuff. And as the KII responded to Dr. Martin Hyperwork here, when Michael Sutter made these raw thoughts about Casper, which I spoke about on numerous videos and also in numerous live streams, about how the next big upgrade or upgrades for Casper will be a hard fork, will likely be the combined hard fork of ZK, native smart contracts, and DAG Knight coming out at the very same time, which would be nuts. And that would, for me, be a very, very strong FOMO candle for Casper. I don't normally believe these foundation building blocks would cause a, God candle sort of thing, but we as the community understand very, very well, or if you should do, if you don't, then you should be tuning into these channels more so, or even tuning into the free Discord server as well. You can find more information in there. But we know the significance of DAG Knight and native smart contracts on Casper. So having both coming out in one singular hard fork potentially would be insane and would likely cause a FOMO candle like no other. I do believe that much, very so. And Uphold's head of research, Dr. Martin Hyperwork, says here, if I hadn't discovered Casper 3 years ago, which he did of course, saying it's Bitcoin's a Casper testnet, if I hadn't done it, this post would have convinced me instantly that Casper is a very strong bet. And the KI says here 99.8%, not sure why it's not 9%, but hey ho, 99.8% of the amazing Casper community can't truly fathom the potential that Casper has to become a global unseen engine underpinning and securing entire global industries. In this case, there is no second best, think Casper. And actually, me and Cody, one of the mods in the Discord server, were talking about it privately about the again, kind of building on top of more so of this debate here between Rajette and Casper Silver, how, Rajette was talking constantly about you can use Visa, Casper cannot be used as a well, let me quickly just, refresh my memory so I can see what me and Cody were actually talking about. Saying, yes, that the argument about how there's billions of transactions daily on like credit cards, for example. And, it wouldn't really work on Casper, because Casper's not allowed for credit transactions. But at the same time, because of Casper's ability to scale so significantly, because Casper is, a much, in the regard of what his layer 1 will offer, would be a superior store of value to Bitcoin, one that resists inflation, the need for credit would actually decrease. You wouldn't need to take out credit, take out loans, sort of stuff. You could just have Casper that could handle the actual amount of direct value transfer. So the markets would gradually, but in the belief, the theory inevitably shift towards holding value in Casper, using it as a means of exchange, unit of account, and a store of value, therefore being as of yet highlights what actually money means. Now, it's quite a long ways off. Of course, that's not going to happen in the next 2-3 years, but that is a possibility, a theory, and a future for Casper. Especially when the Dagnite comes out again, people don't understand the significance of Dagnite, of ZK, of MEV. We can talk about it and we believe we understand it, but understanding the full picture, knowing that everything's coming onto blockchain, it's tough to really underpin that. And I mean, I think I have a decent idea based on the information I provide to my VIPs, because I do understand the significant shift we're seeing in this space. More and more massive, institutions getting heavily involved in this space, starting to stack more into crypto, getting really, really integrated with it, and therefore seeing trillions and trillions and trillions of capital coming into crypto, and then quadrillions of dollars being transacted on chain in the future. That is a not too distant future, 10 years probably, that'll be coming onto crypto. And when you understand that, you understand what Casper's trying to build, Casper can steal that liquidity, that market share, and therefore start increasing in value as well. So if you want to find out more, get alpha information, VIP group, wop.com/coin factory, private live streams, trade alerts, educational videos, the alpha information for 7-day free trial as well, or equally 1 month free trial if you sign up to BYDFI. They've got a new trading campaign going on right now with Bitcoin once again that ends on the 11th of August. A chance to win up to $10,000 in Bitcoin to just sign up to the affiliate link. So if you want to find out more, again, links down below in the description, and also on my free Discord server as well, in the channels as well. Check that out as well. Also linked down in the description below. And we've got a lot more to cover still, so don't go anywhere. But I will get into the questions first and foremost, because it has been a little bit now. Lazy, welcome back, bro. You did very, very well. And you too, Wing Hong with Moon yet? Soon enough, brother. Hopefully soon enough. And yes, as my man says here as well, Crypto Gosu, first smashing the like button. Indeed, if you enjoy the streams, always leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Yeah, if you don't smiggity smash that like, honestly, you need to do it. You need to do it indeed. Salute KLMV, bro. Welcome back to the streamer, man. And you too, Lau. Welcome back, brother. And you too, Bruce, as well. Welcome back, my man. Not only is it not quick enough, it's too expensive for the average person to move energy. Exactly. Bitcoin simply cannot handle it. It's not. Like, if Roget's definition of money proves that Bitcoin cannot be that. Because it cannot be a medium of exchange. It's physically not possible. So in that regard, therefore, Casper does fit those ethos a lot better as a form of money. Money is nothing more than a store of energy. Yeah. And it gets literally what Casper is, the perfect store of energy. Please, Jay, show his face when he hears smart contracts are coming to proof of work. Ooh, I wonder. I mean, smart contracts, no, because that's next month. And I don't think I'm ready yet. Native smart contracts, who knows? What will happen first, native or $1 Casper? Who knows? Welcome back, Falco, bro, who did very, very well. And YouTube Buffalo 3, man, welcome back to the stream, brother. Tony, you're absolutely right about store of energy. Yeah, I know. He's got a good head and shoulders, you know. Yeah, GF, baby Danny. I was gobsmacked the other day when you took a shot at us Americans. Yeah, which video was that? Which video was that I did that? Trying to remember. I think it was this video here. But Ethereum being dead. Yeah, I took a shot at you Americans. I remember that. Yeah, I did that. I was like, oh, is that okay? I was like, you know what? It's fine. My community's known me well enough by now. So now I'm back to hit you with my CODs follow-up, cause a little kerfuffle. On the side note, that debate annoyed the hell out of me. Well, you can cause as much kerfuffle as you want, brother. Just keep it respectfully. And yeah, that debate. I mean, I listened to a few clips of it. I mean, it's frustrating when you got someone who stands on their hill, dies on their hill, standing their ground when arguing, seemingly arguing. He doesn't understand the points he's making either, not to the fullest extent, which does make it quite hard to debate. It's like trying to debate one side against the other when one side already has half the information. It doesn't really work. But I mean, I show no animosity or no hate towards Roget. He's someone who's misinformed. He will eventually learn, as everyone does. If there is a crypto with a Z ticker, would you read it as ZE? Yes, I read it as ZE, 100%. Yeah, and as Falca says here, obligatory water under the rug comments. There you go, 100%. All of that is just water under the rug. You know what it is. Here's the definition of a currency: an asset that can store energy without siphoning it from the user. That means that regardless as adoption and productivity grows, the energy stored in it will too. I think that's also a very good definition of what value is and money is, because again, think about all the energy that goes to creating the dollars, for example, or more so the better form of quote unquote money being gold. You have to mine gold. If you think about how the system was originally created, gold was what you use for money and silver. You mine that stuff. So you're burning energy to mine gold and silver. Then they made dollars, or whatever currency you had at the time, pound sterling, whatever the actual world reserve currency at the time. But they were originally denominated in gold or silver. And then even then for the dollar right now, that's denominated in oil. So even then, you've still got to mine oil. So it's still burning energy. You've still got to use energy. So actually, energy is not a bad definition to determine what really determines the definition of money. So, yeah, why energy is of value? Because energy cannot be created or destroyed. And you spend energy to make that money in one or the other. The dollar fails is this by being printable. Yeah. If the dollar is printable, then yes, you're still making energy to do that, but you're kind of ruining it a lot more so as well. It's still energy from the user. Proof of stake failed this by being created out of thin air by simply creating parameters, exactly. Whereas proof of work, you have to mine it. You have to burn energy to create the token, to receive the token out of the mining pool, effectively. But it was continuing on. We have got some big announcements. So we have, I'm sure you all have heard now, PayPal are now introducing the Pay with Crypto initiative, where you can pay over 650 million merchants, I believe, can now pay with crypto. They're choosing 100 cryptocurrencies that can be used for payments. Now, we don't know what they are just yet. We know Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, the big ones will be used. I'm sure Trump's coin will be there. I'm sure Doge will be there as well. Will Casper be one of the top 100 coins that PayPal choose? We'll have to wait and see. It is a top 50 asset, so logically speaking, it makes sense. But again, doesn't confirm that Casper is going to be one of these assets. We have to wait and see, of course. But either way, this for me is a very, very big deal because of the shift we are now seeing in this space. Among the 4,500 companies, PayPal, the fintech giant, has been an early adopter of crypto for a long time. In 2020, PayPal said the United States users would be able to buy, sell, and hold a select group of cryptos, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, before then expanded the capacity to them, though. However, during the so-called crypto winter of 22, which, after we had the FTX collapse and the Terra Luna rug pull as well, and, we actually got a research document as well that is in my VIP from Vanek, which again, if you're part of the VIP, you can go into the VIP right now, type in the search bar and type in Vanek, VANECK, and you will see a research paper in there, which you already posted, which talks about how a lot of the institutions were actually planning to get involved into crypto last cycle, in the 2021 cycle, but because of the whole rug pull and the FTX situation and Terra Luna stuff, they actually backed out. So this is just further proving to that as well. Again, alpha information, you can find out all stuff ahead of time, research documents in there as well. So PayPal basically just backed out. But now, with crypto markets soaring to all-time highs, Trump and his administration, casting a favourable eye on digital assets with legislative policies and whatnot coming out, they're also going to be releasing their 180-day report regarding the US Strategic Reserve and regulatory stuff on the 3rd as well. So on the 30th, on the Wednesday. On the Wednesday, we'll be hearing Jerome Powell's meeting, his FOMC meeting, his speech, alongside the report from the working group, Trump's working group on digital assets. And then in September, you have, PayPal, who let their businesses buy, hold, and sell crypto from their merchant accounts, and its stablecoin PYUSD, which the company launched in 23, and it has increased the market cap about 70% since the beginning of the year to about $850 million. So PayPal here, proving that they got here last cycle, had to pause because of the whole rug pull event, the Black Swan, and then now they're getting involved very, very heavily right here and now. Very, very heavily right here and now. And you're seeing it again with the Genius app being passed, the Clarity app coming through very, very soon as well, and more regulatory frameworks coming through. You're seeing this ramp up more and more. Interactive brokers are considering enabling stablecoin and crypto for 24/7 funding and brokerage accounts. It's all happening at once. We are a few months away from seeing probably a considerable rally in the markets. Considerable rally. So we have got, limited time to make use of what the markets are showing us right now, which is opportunities. The way I perceive it right now, we have got opportunities to buy these dips. Of course, again, we are seemingly, a lot of us, lacking in the capital. Yes, you can do stuff like trading, which you do in the VIP as well, where you can end up making extra capital or just continue working hard. But apparently, according to this post here from Fox, tariff debate check, what Trump said and what we know. So, for what we've been seeing recently, in accordance to this article here, it seems that a lot of people, of course, on Twitter, even on YouTube, even myself, have been calling the end of the 4-year cycle. How Bitcoin, therefore, and crypto will see a 80 to 90% correction from its all-time high around Q4 this year. A lot of people have been calling the end of that, myself included, and I've been providing more institutional research to the VIPs to prove that theory and support that theory. I don't showcase all of that here. But this is one such reason why it could be possible. One such reason why, because the timing of Trump's, seemingly planned rebate, so, kind of giving a stimulus, is very, very interesting. Trump told reporters this week he is considering a tariff rebate check. We have so much money coming in, we're thinking about a little rebate, but the big thing we want to do is pay down debt. The comment came 1 week before his deadline from other countries to make a deal with the United States before steep tariffs would kick in once again. So it seems that, I'm not holding my breath, as also Greg mentioned as well. Shout out to Greg for putting this in the Discord server. But when you're seeing so much institutional buying taking place right now, and we do have a lot of money seemingly coming into America now thanks to the tariffs, if Trump does pull through on this and does give a little rebate, a little stimulus to retail, that would be good, because most of retail are kind of running on fumes right now. We've been buying so many dips because there's been so many opportunities because the market's been so terrible. Look at that for Casper right now. Seen a double bottom here as well. A reverse head and shoulders, if you will, whatever you want to call it. So, again, I think that would be a very big thing if that does come out, if that is something that ends up being confirmed here, a rebate. That could definitely cause a lot more capital to flow into the market, and therefore meaning that retail can get back in very, very, significantly, or even just a little bit more so as well would be very, very good. If not, again, not the end of the world. I think we still will have enough dry powder for when the time comes, and the time is quickly coming. Casper right now, according to CMC, got a $92 million 24-hour trading volume, 2.59 billion market cap, and again, Gates now dominating once again quite comfortably. Then it's Mexi, and then you've got BitGet falling off more so now, around 7%. BitGet, Bybit even at 6% as well. The markets aren't doing the best today. It happens, and I wish I had more dry powder right now to scoop up more myself. But we'll see a lot more coming into the space very, very soon, with the likes of Igra Labs, who are releasing their smart contracts very, very soon in Q4. Their testnet's going live in the next week or two, I believe. Zealous, therefore, who are launching on Igra's testnet and also on the Casplex mainnet. That's coming out in about 34 days now. We are counting on the days till the mainnet launch for Casplex or smart contracts to come on Casper, EVM smart contracts. So Ethereum tools can bridge onto Casper seamlessly. Be fantastic stuff. We are sleeping on Casper right now. We have a lot more coming. And I also have some posts here, which I did make a video on just recently regarding the KRI and ultimately why Casper is the perfect and frankly only solution to properly provide sovereignty and security and safety and true ownership as opposed to anything else. Because everything else is centralized already, and anything else regarding stablecoins, or if it may be, there's already a plan from these policy makers, from these governments to remain in control and to penalize you should you ignore the rules, which is unfortunately the world we're going into. They're losing control and they're taking extreme measures to remain in control. So we've got this post here, which I did make a video on. Christine Lagarde. This is an old interview. It's not a recent one, but it doesn't matter because I believe that the ideology behind it, or her theory or thought behind it, hasn't changed much. If you've heard any recent interviews from her, she's not changed much. She's still very much adamant on this kind of needing for control, needing for KYC, AML. And don't get me wrong, the KYC elements, know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering, those are, maybe not so much KYC, but AML, they're good, right? They're necessary laws to help protect the individual and also the masses as well. I understand and I agree with having certain measurements in place to prevent certain illicit activities. However, what she says in this interview here has literally nothing to do about protection. Not where I see it. It seems that what they're trying to do is suppress other companies, be it your Amazon, your Googles, or your Ubers, whatever it means, making their own currency to then take over and kind of overthrow the governments and how they're kind of running things, but also to prevent the kind of individual from doing what they want to do as well. She mentions in this interview how they were, whether they still are or not, again, tough to determine, but they were throwing up the idea of it will therefore become illegal for you to be paying more than €1,000 of your own money in cash. If you do, you get put on a grey list, you get flagged, and that could get you penalised, get you fined, could get you arrested, sent to jail. And then with the digital euro coming out, which is already being rolled out as we speak right now, XRP Ledger has it already actually, they'll come with even more controls, where the controls, they're talking about the possibility of not having any controls or too much monitoring anything below €300, which you know, it's not that much money. In the grand scheme of things, if you think about what we've got with Casper right now, if you have 300 Casper, you'll have over €300 in the coming months, in my belief. If you just reach $1 at least. You've got €300. You spend anything over €300, you equally you'll get flagged, you'll get monitored, you'll be grey-listed. So if you are someone who's got a lot of capital, you will be restricted. If you've got little capital, they don't care enough to monitor you. That's nothing about AML. Or at least very little to do with it. It's more just about control. So you can't do as you want to. If you drag too much money out, they're like, oh, you're trying to leave or do something. No, you can't do that. That's just the EU. The EU are very extreme. They're probably the most extreme. The only problem, though, is the EU are one of the first movers. They currently got the most developed regulatory frameworks. More than America right now. Now, they're not good. They're very restrictive. And you're seeing, in accordance to what the KRI says here as well, many companies fleeing. The EU compliance lawyers are saying the clients are terrified. It's a compliance nightmare. They are trying to flee and get out of the EU because of these strict regulatory regimes. The EU CSDDD compliance nightmare is our opportunity, CSDDD being the Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, which apparently comes through mid-2028. So you've got 3 years. Only 3 years. It's not a long time. And this new derivative forces companies to verify their entire supply chains, human rights, and environmental compliance across many sectors, but not just your direct supplier, but also your suppliers too. It's a long chain of things. And if you miss if you make a simple mistake, you lose 5% of your global revenue. 5% per violation as well. So you make 5 violations, 25% is gone. Like that. Ridiculous. And you've got fashion supply chain directors who are saying, we've got so many suppliers, and our last audit took so long, cost so much, and they found 60% of issues. So we would be broke. We'd lose $500 million. $500 million in EU is impossible without blockchain, and seemingly also impossible without Casper. Hence what they signed with the KRI. That's fashion as well. So KRI is now getting to fashion as well. That's quite cool. It's supply chain, but the supply chain for fashion, for clothing. Mining executives talking about human rights. Again, one violation equals 1 lawsuit, fines. We need immutable tracking yesterday. They need KRI. They need Casper. Energy consultants. Qatar threatening to cut LNG to Europe over this. They'd rather lose the market in EU than risk 5% fines. With Casper, though, if they did decide to sign with them, which we do have energy clients with KRI and Casper, you've got Siemens, you've got Eon Energy, you also have Shell and many more. Casper tracking emissions per shipment, they could comply with this new EU law and keep trading while being decentralized, so therefore avoiding the overreach from EU and having the speed to do so as well. And it also has smart contract that auto flag violations so they wouldn't miss anything. Alongside supply chain transparency platforms with IoT integration, which comes with the likes of Olive Chain, which is going to be doing real world asset tokenization, supply chain and commodity trading. It's a very small market cap that's going to be growing so much more over the next few years. As highlighted here, 2 billion for supply chain should be that's in 2024. Right now it seems to suggest that it's currently around 12 million. Okay, maybe that's not the right. Okay, maybe something else I'm looking at there. But either way, 22 billion 2024 should be 96xing to 192 billion by 2030. And that, that's where Casper makes his money, therefore. As a unit as a medium of exchange with its high throughput. That's how much you can make it. You got many initiatives coming to the KRI and Casper. You've got ZTEX, you've got Ascent, you've got Olive Chain, you've got Warp Core, you've got Gigawatt. Of course, it's tough for us to see what's happening to KRI, so it's tough to put full faith in them. I do have faith in KRI. I do, personally. I think what they're building is very, very innovative. I think they've given us quite a lot of information already, as much as they can do, while they're also dealing with their enterprise clients. And we are seeing, apparently, you're seeing more and more of these massive corporations, 6,500 over companies, who are going to be liable for this stuff. We're seeing more and more of them starting to seek alternatives, seeking blockchain to avoid these violations, to do it in time, but also to have protection. Because Casper went through utility. Casper is the way to protect yourself. This is what we're seeing with Casper right now. We are, again, in a very unique and early position right now, with more to come. I also said they got more. The question here is like, not everyone is a fan of dot connecting, but ZT, DII, Zeta all connected, and KI says here, yep, they are, plus several more are all connected in an interconnected system. So there's multiple different networks from Zeta to ZTEX to DII to KI, all connected. There are many more also interconnected as well. We renamed the Electrum Layer 2, although it is an alloy for blending gold and silver, and we thought it was cool. It's also a popular Bitcoin wallet name, so we want something more logical or more iconic. So they haven't got a name right now, but they did make a new smart contract. Here. They had the EVM smart contract they have, and they made their own one because they didn't think EVM was as efficient enough. I think is what they said. They called it Electrum, but then if now want to change the name as well to something more iconic, so they're trying to find a name right now. But they're building up more and more. Again, the building of Casper, we are still in an extremely early stage right now, and I'm looking forward to smart contracts coming out, everything else coming out as well. Again, it's a unique time when the markets are not really moving much. Building's what really, really matters, and we're seeing the building happening fast. The price, yes, frustrating, has been frustrating for a long time, but at the same time, most alts have been frustrating. So we've been hovering around this price for quite some time now. Of course, you got in when we first heard about it, which I heard about it at 180. You're up, you're fine. Tau, you've been following Casper quite diligently. Tau's been around the same value. December 2023, Tau is, down here. So Tau's actually been following Casper very, very well, surprisingly. So you can argue that Tau is actually not as good as Casper, or it's moving the same as Casper right now. You've got many assets out there, Algorand, your HBAR, your Zebex. They're all performing quite well. Zebex doing quite well today, actually. If you look at the fib retracement right now, we can see that Zebex did manage to find that support and rally above that 0.004 here. And looks like now trying to make the move. If it can do breakout, going to 4.8. And then likely also trying to find support around this 5 here as well. So Zebex doing very, very well, and I do suspect we'll see Zebex rally higher due to their governmental connections, their policy, the connections with policymakers, their partnership with Algorand now, MasterCard, JP Morgan, and many, many more. Is it going to be a great long-term asset? I can't say for sure. The proof of stake is centralized. They have issues, as we do tend to agree with proof of stakes in this community. But will it do well this cycle? Yes, I believe it will do. Personally, not financial advice, of course. I think it'll do very well. It might also have a few years in it. But again, at the same time, you've got to understand your risk to reward, trying to therefore trust a project that is centralized. That does mean the insiders, the devs, the team, the CEOs can decide just to take it all out whenever they want to, because they have control of the asset. Casper has that advantage, therefore. It does make it a bit harder about the VC pumping the price, but at the same time, it gives more sovereignty and more security. And what's building for Casper anyways, again, as highlighted from the KRI, people can't fathom what's coming to Casper. The reason the KRI came to Casper was because of Dagnize. You can't fathom what's coming to Casper. It is so incredibly early. And maybe we do not see the end of the 4-year cycle as well. And if you don't see the end, if we do see the end of the 4-year cycle, if we see the end of the 4-year cycle, then Casper's in a prime position to see continual uptrends. Big announcements coming out in 2026. And you'll see a continuous adoption for institutions from now for the next 2 years as well. Again, if you're part of the VIP, you will see all this information out there. We post it in there, all the information that's showcasing their considerable increasing in adoption for Bitcoin, for blockchain technology, for AI in the next 2 years. And then going into the next 5 years and so on and so forth, it is going to ramp up significantly starting now. ISO 20022, the global messaging system that Swift is now migrating to, and everything else, FedWire migrated to ISO 20022 on July 14th. That's going to become a global standard. It is a necessity for banks and every financial provider to have ISO 20022. That's happening in November. Warp Core is compliant. It's been testing on Swift as well. So if that's coming out in November, and therefore everything's going to come to blockchain, more or less, or be able to be interoperable blockchain in November, you can see a lot more, volume, adoption, demand, price rising going into the end of this year as well. And will it come to another big correction? Who knows? My personal belief right now, and it's completely very speculative, is I think we're going to probably see Bitcoin make this rally to wherever it's going to go to, whether it be 150, 200, who knows how high it's going to go. And then we'll see the end of the 2025 year going to 2026. You might see a correction start in 2026, maybe. Again, it depends on market sentiment. We're going to be looking very, very closely. And then you see a pullback, but instead of the typical 80% pullback, let's just say it goes to 150k. Instead of you seeing a typical 80% pullback, meaning you see Bitcoin therefore come down to 30k. You might see only a 50%. So only an 80k. Where you see even less, 30% pullback again. Because you're seeing more and more governments buying up Bitcoin for a reserve, more institutions buying up Bitcoin for a reserve, more altcoins being bought up for reserves to jump on the technology and use the technology as well. When you see the level of adoption coming through, seeing trillions funding on chain, that doesn't tend to correlate to a price decrease. Not all the time. It can, no guarantee in it. But I think this is going to be. There's a reason why people call this cycle the Great Wealth Transfer. Put it that way. This is the Great Wealth Transfer. This is the cycle where you make it. Not necessarily you have to make your money here and now, but it's a cycle where you're here before institutions, the last cycle before institutions get involved, and then you ride the wave up. You learn before them. Again, that's why we provide information to VIPs, so we can learn ahead of the institutions or learn with them. Stay with the game, stay ahead of the game. Know what we're looking out for, learn what they're looking for. So when you want to find out more, again, links up in the description, wop.com/coin factory, right here as well. And then Kas Kaspa, unique in its own regard, truly decentralized, and has much more coming into it, also providing protection from regulatory overreach from like the EU as well. There's a lot more coming through. Won't PayPal take commission out of people using Casper? Not necessarily, no. Making it more expensive using Casper directly. I mean, PayPal might take a commission of sorts, that's how they make their money. But then that's just like, whether that's the case or not, people don't have to use PayPal. Right now, I mean, PayPal are massive, so it'll be an option for them. But if you can end up using Casper and going on the Casper platform to use your Casper that way, and it's cheaper, then do that. But the premise of it is just it's going to be PayPal getting involved and offering crypto payments. That is more dots for crypto. If you don't want to wait, days and days and days, like the whole premise of it, PayPal, you have to wait. You have to use the expensive and incumbent Swift system right now of PayPal. That's how it works. If you use the pay with crypto, you get up to 90% discounts, basically. That's how they're perceiving it. That's how they're portraying it. 90% discounts, whilst it being quicker as well. Now, of course, if you actual blockchain, it'd be a lot quicker than that. But PayPal's a stepping stone, and it's showcasing more TradFi getting involved, and then eventually people wise up and realize just stay straight to DeFi and forget PayPal, use just straight up crypto. And Crypto is putting more analogies in there about, I think, crows. Dogs use currency by their favorite toy. They spend energy with it. Time, mindshare, appreciation equals value or overvalue. When you are feeling down, dogs are known to bring you your favorite toy, catch your attention as value because they're independent nature and they value individual space and are known to use affection and intimacy as currency. Yeah, I mean, again, everything has their own different currency, right? Even people, humans, like are like what we perceive as value, maybe money, but it depends on the person as well. I mean, humans are a very unique species, so not everyone will perceive value as money. People will perceive it as time with family, perceive it as independence. Everyone has their own unique, for human nature at least, but when it comes to money and how you determine money as value, then I do agree with Kryptoni that it does seem to be energy utilized. I'll have whatever Tony's smoking. I mean, it's something, alright? What's up, Bill? Hope you're doing very, very well, bro. Casper, let's go indeed. Unfortunately, not doing the best today, but the takeaway from this right now is the markets are not doing very well as a whole, and Casper's still holding around that 9.7 to 10 cent zone right now, which is a level of support we can see for Casper. Quite a strong one again. If you look back in history, on numerous occasions, Casper has seen rejections and support around this zone here. So it does seem to be, again, that very strong level of support for Casper. So seeing us hold that right now is good. If you can hold that and then going into, this week again is a big week. You got the crypto report, the digital asset report from the working group, from Trump's working group, happening on Wednesday alongside the FOMC meeting. Then you've got the PC inflation data coming out on Thursday. And then you have the tariffs coming out on the Friday. So it could be a very, very big week. The markets are not behaving the best today right now, but it's just kind of what's going on right now, to be expected, right? It's kind of what's going on right now. This space still going on, damn. Oh, they changed the name now. Have the ship sailed? I'm not tuning in right now. My answer is probably no. I don't think the ship sailed yet, because we're still sitting at 10 cents, and building's still not here fully yet. They haven't got Dagnite here yet. The ship's not sailed at all yet. We've still got a lot more time. But of course, you should learn as much as you can do right now. I'm definitely have to watch this. I'm going to have to listen to all of this back 100%, because I'm sure I've missed a lot of big alpha from these people. Shout out to the Blockchain Banter crew once again. Gold is most undervalued KYC project. Fantastic community, fantastic, and transparent founder. So the fantastic made me laugh. That fantastic meme going on right now. The fantastic four. Sorry, to make me laugh. I mean, Kango is Gold. Even Gold. I mean, Gold is one of the higher up top 9, just short of a 1 mil market cap and 98,000 volume, 7,000 holders. Is one of the bigger memes for sure. It's the second biggest actually behind Nacho, because KDAO's not a meme, so it's not the same thing. And then the next one would be like Casper is high up there as well, and Kango. But yeah, Gold's very, very high up. I would still say that the most undervalued. I'd argue right now, looking at the market charts, that Gold is probably, considering its amount of holders, probably the most undervalued comparatively to the likes of your Birch, your Conans, your Caspers, whatever it may be. I think it's got potential. Again, I think a lot of these memes will see a lot of a price appreciation once Casper starts rallying. Again, think about, we haven't even got the big tier 1s yet that will hopefully be coming through following the price rally and the smart contracts coming out, and stable coins as well. There's still a lot more in store for Casper. True. Very, very true. Everything has their own form of currency, right? Or any form of value. They were trying to do that to the United States. It got preempted. Thankfully. I think I missed something important here. But I'm just seeing Wing Hong and Kryptoni go back and forth about the idea of money and energy and whatnot. Which again, I'm reading it, and I'd love to have a conversation about this in another time. Just think any more questions going on right now. Octa blockchain moving to Casper. Yes, welcome back, TTTT. Yeah, so we have seen a post regarding Octa. They bought a KNS domain, octa.space.cas or whatever it is. But yeah, basically it's a very, very big deal actually. It doesn't confirm that they are partnering with Casper, but it's a very big indicator that they do plan to do some stuff with Casper. Probably jump on the protocol, probably build up through Casper, maybe trying to utilize their infrastructure, their decentralized nature as well. They might also therefore help out the Octa miners a bit more as well. So it does seem to be like Octa do plan to utilize Casper in some means, which, giving smart content about to be coming out, that's quite a big deal as well. That might be when they're going to start jumping in as well. So that could be big for Octa. Octa is still a very small project. There was XXIM and Kit, shout out to him once again. He had an interview with Octa recently, which I do plan to tune into and watch the replay of it. probably tomorrow, Wednesday, I think. But this is Octa right now, very, very small. It's very, very risky, therefore, asset is very, very small. Not many listings either. But if working together with Casper, if it jumps on Casper, that could give it some good advantage, first mover advantage, and therefore start to see a more appreciation of the project as well. They look like they're building quite a lot. You know, I don't know too much about Octa yet. I do plan to look into it more, but I'm optimistic for the project from what I do know of it. It looks quite interesting. We are so near to explode, so many people think. I mean, it's a possibility. I hope so. I really do. Welcome, Alyssa. I hope you're doing very, very well. Finally got time to court the live. It's go time. Welcome back. Good to have you back, Queen. Hope you're doing very, very well. And yes, a good thing, you know, for the first time in a while, I did a very, very late stream. Partly because I couldn't go live at the usual time, and then also going live at an hour later like I was planning to. I realised that the blockchain banter crew were going live at that time, so I knew I clashed. Even now I'm clashing, which does upset me a little bit. But I didn't want to clash completely, give people a bit of a chance to tune into the first hour at least before choosing their favourite content creator. It looks like I'm losing, 106 to 48, but hey, it's not a competition. We're all here just for the love and word about Casper anyways. And they're doing a great job over there. They've got some big announcements there, so once you finish watching here and once the playback's ready for the blockchain banter crew, then definitely tune in and listen to their playback as well, because I'm going to listen to it as well. And I think they're cooking. What they're doing, the people that are getting involved at Igor Labs, they're cooking a lot. Do you see Octa interview? Yeah, I haven't seen it just yet, but I do think I'm intrigued about it, and I do plan to maybe even use. I mean, it's gonna be Gate, Mexi, or one of these. I'm gonna probably use one of the exchanges to scoop up a little bit of Octa just to hedge my bets. Even if it returns to all-time highs, you know, that's a 4x from here. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all, actually. So seeing a nice 4x would be very nice, if not higher. But it's a very high risk because it's such a small market cap, so you've got to be very careful about it. What's your thought about somebody saying wallet 2 and 3 will get the same amount at the same time? It's Binance Gatherer. Yeah, I saw that post. I think it's an interesting theory. I think it's coincidental. I think there might be similar time zones. I think wallet 3 is KuCoin. Wallet 3 is KuCoin because you're seeing a lot of those transactions coming through from KuCoin wallets. Of course, the wallet 2 has been buying from KuCoin as well. But wallet 2 is bought from KuCoin, bought from Bybit, and bought from No, it's not Kraken. Which one did they buy it from? Gate. I think it's Gate. Yeah, Gate, KuCoin, and Bybit, but it's been mainly just Gate recently. And yeah, both these wallets bought at a similar time, which is definitely a bit of a like, albeit they're both the same, you know, exchange and whatnot. I don't believe so. I think this wallet saw a massive, massive shift in capital, seeing what 300 or 400 million Casper or something like that in one day. And it's from KuCoin's wallet. So this is probably KuCoin's account. It's KuCoin exchange here, most likely. So wallet 2, I don't know who it is. I do believe wallet 2 is an exchange or a market maker. I know that Dolmer did send some stuff to me on Twitter, which delved into the theory that this is Binance's wallet, and it's an interesting theory, and I don't disagree. But I can't confirm nor deny just yet. Again, nobody knows. I think it's either going to be Binance or it's a market maker like Wintermute. I won't say DWF Labs because they came in too late, but who knows? Either way, I'm sure we'll see this wallet perform some form of catalyst for Casper in the near future. Tomorrow, pal speaking. I don't believe it's tomorrow. Let me quickly double check. Maybe I'm wrong. Tomorrow, I don't see anything about Jerome Powell tomorrow. I think it's on the Wednesday. Yeah, FOMC. I mean, maybe he's doing a speech tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure about that. I haven't double checked, but I know that the FOMC meeting, and therefore his speech will be coming. Wait, no, I'm tweaking. No, of course it does. Yeah, because he speaks the day before, and the actual decision comes. Yeah, so he'll speak tomorrow. The FOMC meeting period actually always 2 days. Do a day before where he'll give a little bit of a prep about what's happening, and then he'll give the actual speech on the day afterwards. So yeah, he'll be his speech tomorrow for Jerome Powell, I believe, followed by the actual decision on rate cuts and the statements about that the day afterwards, which is at 7 p.m. BST, which is 6 p.m. UTC. I don't expect rate cuts. I just hope he's at least dovish. That's my hope. My prayer, my hope is at least dovish. Here at home watching on TV. Love that LB, bro. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. And having a great time kicking your feet up with the popcorn, watching the markets dump. But also, intrigued and looking forward to what's coming out. Again, if you haven't watched the video on my channel, I made a video literally earlier today talking about Europe's nightmare plan for crypto has been exposed and how Casper is the only solution you need. And actually did also, I showed it in my stream yesterday, but again, showcased that alpha information from this interview here, which talks about the true vision of Bitcoin being democratization, which Casper is the only one that can really adhere to that in my belief, while also being trilemma solving. So definitely check that out. I haven't done so already. There's a lot more coming to the space for Casper as well. If you ask a question on the banter today, you can win 1 ticket to the Berlin meeting. I mean, I kind of regret not being in the meeting right now, but at the same time, I have not got the ability to go to anywhere outside the UK right now. I'm kind of stuck here, unfortunately, due to... I mean, again, I'd love to do it, and it could also be a great day out, meeting the community. Meeting some actually known faces as well. I'm sure I'll go to an event. If not later this year, definitely in 2026 I'll be going to some events. Might actually see some people there for the first time as well. I'd ideally though like to have a... Well, that would be quite interesting though, because if I went to an event and hadn't done my face cam reveal yet, then nobody know that I am QC at a Casper event. That would be something. That would be something indeed. Although, at the same time, I'm sure Mr. Miles will somehow expose me. He's going to find a way. He always does. What's up, Don Carlos, bro? You're doing very, very well, brother. Are we going to throw a Kappa party when we become millionaires? I mean, we'll throw something, no doubt. There'll definitely be some form of celebratory event when Kappa does reach a significant value where all are, living comfy. That could be this year, could be in the coming years. Again, how soon depends on your capital and the price of Casper. But I do think, again, that inflection point, that tipping point, is very, very close now. Very, very close indeed. The ship hasn't sailed. I think we've got a lot more coming up. And, yeah, it's something, all right? We are in a very unique position right now. With that being said, though, again, beat with head. What price Casper to be a millionaire? It depends on you, right? It depends. It's not a simple question because it depends on the price of. It depends how much Casper you hold, plus where you live. And I don't want or need to know that sort of stuff. But if you live in, Ghana or some part in Africa, the amount of money you need to survive in, a part in Africa is significantly less than in America. But at the same time, so therefore you wouldn't need as much Casper to be a millionaire. But at the same time, if you lived in America, you might need, well, let's just say $1 million Casper. That means $1 Casper makes you a millionaire. But again, therefore it depends on the price of Casper, where it reaches, how much you own, and the region you live into. So it's not a simple question. But we'll see. I think Casper is going to shock people, so I'm going to put it that way. I would absolutely expose him to the public unless he pays me 10k Casper. That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm scared of. Very, very scared of that. What will launch the party? There are multiple catalysts. You've got the Clarity Act. You've got the the Clarity Act. You've got more institutional adoption, pumping up Bitcoin and crypto and Ethereum and whatnot. You've got SEC ETF filings. You've got rate cuts being a big one for altcoins. You then got Casper Catalyst, smart contracts coming out, stablecoins launching on Casper as well, tier 1 listings coming out on Casper as well, native smart contracts, Dagnite coming out. You've got a lot. KRI launching their projects in Q4, Gigawatt, ZTX, Warp Core. You got November, ISO 2002 migration for all financial institutions to come onto this new messaging standard. You have got so many catalysts still to come. Now, will it all cause price pumps? Not necessarily, no. But they are foundation building blocks to lead to increasing volume, adoption, and then prices in the future. Some of them will cause price bumps. Most might do. Rate cuts will. Clarity Act probably will. Stablecoin on Casper probably won't. Might cause a little relief, but not a massive pump. Smart contract launching for Casplex, I think probably will actually, after what we saw back here on the 21st. We saw that 20% move from the announcement, so I think the actual launch could cause a price pump of sorts. Not a god candle, but maybe a price pump of sorts. Tier 1 listings definitely for Casper. So there's a lot that can cause a launch, and they all could happen this year. What's up, brother? I just joined now. Any price prediction for Casper after smart contract are implemented? Thank you very much. I don't do price predictions anymore, personally. Which those who are part here for a while know that. I think smart contracts will be big for Casper and see a lot of use case coming to the chain, demand start coming back. You might see the memes start doing very well off the back of that as well. I think by that point, smart contracts will be, put it this way. Smart contracts, Casplex coming out 31st of August. September, from the looks of things right now, seems to be an extremely big month with the release of, and hopefully the implementation of the Clarity Act into law, which therefore will mean that Casper will be officially easily identified as a commodity under the CFTC regulations, meaning that it's going to be easier for listings and whatnot as well, and also rate cuts probably in September as well. So you've got stablecoins coming out on the 31st of August, not stablecoins, smart contracts on the 30th of August, plus Clarity Act coming out making it easier for Casper to get listings and ETFs and whatnot, potentially, again, if it does pass through in September, and then also potential rate cuts as well. If all those three things happen, from the 30th of August to sometime in September, Casper could explode, past all-time highs, in my belief. How high, who knows? But I think those three significant catalysts, Clarity Act, off the back of rate cuts, off the back of smart contracts, could cause Casper to soar. But again, not financial advice. Do your own research. When other Binance hint, who knows? I think the next one could probably be I think the next Binance hint will be the main thing at this point. What are your pronouns, by the way? Just he, him. Or that guy. Can we apply for ETF Casper? There was a poll about it in the Casper Discord server about, a fundraiser, community fundraiser for getting an ETF. You can see there for yourself and look into it, but I'm not particularly too aware myself. I think you have to live and wait with us for smart contract 31st. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to keep going live, but I will definitely, on the day of smart contracts launching, I'll make sure that I am going to be live, as they're about to go live. Basically, I'll try and do that at least. I hear XRP and ICP will build on Casper. I mean, if they want to remain relevant, they might have to. Although I prefer they both stay clear from my project, actually. So many catalysts all this year, mind you. $1 should be bearish. Remember, we are the fastest and the best. I mean, again, price projections are always tough to determine. In the idea of what's coming to Casper potentially this year does make it seem bearish, but at the same time, who knows? Because they may not cause price bumps. I am optimistic for Casper very much so, and I don't want to sound like I'm bearish, because I'm not. I think Casper could do very, very well in this cycle, price-wise, and even in the future from there on as well. But no one's got a crystal ball, so it's really tough to determine the price of Casper, I think if we have a Tier 1 listing now, everyone will sleep well. Oh, 100%. I'll sleep like a baby. Tier 1, smart contract, Dagnite, KRI, L2. Yeah. There's so much more coming. So much more. Duda. Yeah, exactly. Duda's my pronouns. Do you go up to Barber and say, can I touch... What? You're doing Mr. Miles stuff right now. You're just saying random stuff. Honestly, I miss and don't miss the Mr. Miles just to stay in random stuff to get me to read it. That's not an invitation. It's not an invitation. And I won't read it. Casper, ZBC, let's go. Yeah, I mean, those two right now are the ones I've been making videos on right now. And I do believe that both... I mean, Casper, my position in Casper. Zebek is one that's very small, 350ml market cap, and I think maybe 400ml market cap right now, but I think it can do quite well this cycle. There are many more I hold. I do plan to make other videos throughout the coming weeks and whatnot on other cryptos, but right now Zebek's one that I think is worth covering while the price is, 50% down from its all-time highs or so. Or 40 right now, so yeah. Archetype have to do a video today, how he can live after rug pull blaze. I mean, you can kind of move, you move on, don't you? I mean, he's not going to want to live on that, is he? What he did seemingly was wrong. I've seen the evidence about it. I don't agree with it. I think he probably did do it intentionally to hurt his community. If the most going to speak out about it, I refuse to say more about it because I don't want to have any heat on my back. But he's not going to, just dwell on it completely. He's going to ignore it. He's going to move on. He's got to. It's not right. And those who seemingly seek out the truth and know the truth will leave him and stop following him. But otherwise, then people continue to follow him blindly. No, I've not been paid for it. I'm not. The only thing I'm currently I'm the only thing I'm affiliated with is BYDFI, which I do actually enjoy. I do use BYDFI for trading. I enjoy using their exchange. I actually do. I think BYDFI is actually a very good exchange. You know, again, no KYC, no VPN. I do like BYDFI, but I'm not paid to talk about anything. If I was paid to talk about it, I would put a disclaimer saying, you know, paid sponsorship. I would always mention that. I wouldn't just make a video without being. I'm just not mention it. Not like I think I've done a decent job in building trust in this community. So the last thing I want to do is misplace that trust. So if I was to, like, I've been offered to talk about Picoin, for example. I didn't want to do that because I didn't like the idea of Picoin. Now I've been offered other opportunities. I don't take them. That's not saying I won't, but I'll only take something that I do think I believe in. You know, something that I believe in. If Zebek paid me to talk about it, I probably still would, but I'm not asking them to, and I'm not doing it because I'm being paid to do it, you know? If that makes sense. I'm not paid for anything. I just talk about stuff that I like, and I get bullied by Mr. Miles and all you Americans. But that being said, family, it is 11 o'clock here, PM. I'm shattered. And I've got a big day tomorrow. You know, working. The life never stops. Hopefully we got some... I mean, tomorrow's going to be the final prep day, if you will, before, you know, all the big announcements. The week's going to be huge. We'll see more announcements coming out. Apparently C-Swap's got something big coming through as well, so keep us on that as well. If you enjoyed the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. More's coming to Casper. KRI are cooking. You know, DeFi deck stuff all being built. We are very fortunate and very early. Leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. If you want to know about crypto and Casper and even more information about this space, to learn more, to maximize your benefits in crypto, check out the free Discord server, the affiliate link to BYDFI in there as well, where you can get access to the VIP for 1 month for free. Equally check that out as well. Linked up in the description, and also my homepage and the Discord server as well. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. Jay, when QC tantrum cards? That's a great question, honestly. I'll have a look, see what I can muster. Maybe one of my bigger account, but I'll see what I can do. That being said, have a great day, good evening, good night, family.